How's it going? Welcome back to the show. This is You Made Roscoe. I am Roscoe, and today we're going to be taking a look at a video that is titled Caitlin Clark is destroying WNBA players. And we'll be taking a look at this. Before we do that, I do want to ask for anybody who hasn't that they please subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell. Also, make sure that you support Caitlin. Go over to her page if she has one, and do the same thing. This isn't from a page of hers. This is from some random basketball page. But yeah, Caitlin Clark, she's been the big talk ever since she's stepped into the WNBA. Even before then, she was making big waves in the NCAA, and now she's been, doing her thing in the WNBA, well, adapting as of late because she was struggling a little bit at first. And lately now it seems like she's getting her sea legs under her. But yeah, let's check out this video. Let's do it.
As the WNBA's star rises, it becomes evident why the league had trouble growing in the first place. A very narrow culture, supported by players, longtime fans, and even the media, that is as much about progressive politics as it is about hoops. These gatekeepers want only one brand of basketball, the activist kind. Unfortunately for y'all new fans, we do not just shut up and dribble here. You picked the wrong league. Connecticut Sun guard Dejanay Carrington tweeted earlier this week. Carrington, if you remember, mocked the Fever's Caitlin Clark for flopping earlier in June and has happily leaned into the off-court drama ever since. Or take this sentiment by Sabria Whitaker, who runs a nonprofit called Grow the Game, which allegedly claims to increase awareness, attendance, engagement, and involvement in women's sports. I'm sorry, no shade, but there are just way too many men speaking on the WNBA right now without any firsthand knowledge of how intersectionality works, and the other layers of presentation. The male gaze, etc. Please stop. Sabria Whitaker wrote earlier this week on X. Intersectionality is a bogus, poisonous, and divisive concept that rejects the idea of humanity and meritocracy, a bedrock of sports. But the idea is baked into the WNBA and other women's pro leagues, and if someone doesn't want to abide by it, they're apparently not welcome. So how do you expect to expand and ask for more viewers and higher salaries when you demand ideological purity from the fan base?
We sent you to America so you could be our mole.
There's treachery within our ranks.
Media. You simply cannot have it all on your terms. What WNBA gatekeepers don't seem to get is that this is a big part of why so many people are drawn to Caitlin Clark. She stays above the fray. She does want to shut up and dribble. Sure, Clark is wide and straight in a predominantly black and gay league, but the real issue is that she, unlike, say, fellow rookie Cameron Brink, hasn't genuflected to the WNBA's ultra-progressive politics and given a public soliloquy on her privilege. The 22-year-old phenom only wants to bend a knee to the hoop gods and drown out any and all noise. She's been extremely consistent in that endeavor, not giving oxygen to any off-court provocation, as media figures and other players have openly reduced her success and appeal to white privilege. She's never responded. Before the Fever game, a reporter asked...
Let me pause this for a sec, and I'll push it back just a couple of seconds like that. Right here should be good. And they're making some good points in this video. The one where they're talking about athletes basically well, the sport, I should say, being not based off meritocracy, which is crazy, and that speaks to like the nepotism that exists in the world, period. I find it kind of funny when people talk about meritocracy and nepotism when the country has been built off that forever. It's always been about who and family lines and all that other stuff, and all that stuff being passed down. Like Donald Trump is a recipient of nepotism, just like a lot of other people. But yeah, no, Caitlin Clark it's funny when they say that she's rising above because she's deciding to stay away from like the media drama as much as she can, and that is a good thing because um, all of the outside talk outside of the sport that concerns Caitlin is like really like negative. It feels like a lot of the time because a lot of her fan base seem to have this thing where they want to uplift her but bring down other players at the same time, which I don't think has to be a thing. Like it's okay for you to cheer on one player and not have to bring down another. So yeah, there's a lot of layers going on here. And me, I'm not going to even pretend like I'm somebody who knows all the nuances of what's going on. I'm just trying to learn just like everybody else. So let's keep it going.
White privilege. She's never responded. Before the Fever game, a reporter asked Clark how she feels about being used in the culture war. She essentially told a reporter that she doesn't pay attention. Her job is to play hoops. Clark is the outlier that the WNBA needed to move the needle with a broader audience. Her unique style of play has brought explosive growth that no one could have imagined, and a well-deserved spotlight onto the players. Do we really need her to do crowd control too? If basketball really must be identity-driven, then let's respect Clark's identity as a no-nonsense, keep-it-on-the-court baller. Caitlin Clark's arrival in the WNBA has sparked countless talking points and debates around the sporting world. Much of the discussion revolves around the apparent treatment Clark has received as she begins her professional career, particularly when it comes to physical play. This discussion reached a boiling point earlier this month when Chicago Sky veteran Kennedy Carter decked Clark with a blindside dead ball foul. A few days after that incident, reigning league MVP Breanna Stewart was asked to address concerns about Clark's treatment and the physicality of the WNBA as a whole.
This is the best league in the world, and nobody's going to give you anything easy. And understanding that and learning how to play through it, at this level, they're the fastest, the strongest, the quickest, and that's why this is the WNBA. So continue to kind of pay attention to what we do.
As the #1 overall pick and frontrunner for Rookie of the Year, Clark certainly gets more defensive attention than most young players. But according to Stewart, this type of physical welcome to the league is par for the course. Caitlin has been on the receiving end of several hard fouls early in her WNBA career. Most recently, the Indiana Fever's #1 overall pick was hit across the head by a flagrant 1 foul from Chicago Sky rookie Angel Reese. During a recent episode of Gil's Arena, former NBA star Gilbert Arenas said Reese has embraced her role as a bully in the WNBA. WNBA legend Cheryl Swoops, a guest on the show, quickly fired back with response to Arenas' take. Swoops disagreed with Arenas' opinion of Reese. In fact, she turned the tables and said Clark is the true bully.
But with Angel,
auto insurance all seems the same until it's time to use it. With USAA, it's easy to file claims.
she's rugged, right? She's a rugged girl, right?
Let me stop and push this back just a little bit. And I hate how media likes to create narratives a lot of the time by using these one-word phrases, 2 words, have whatever, to describe a player and who they are, basically, when that stuff is like dead wrong. And I'm glad Cheryl Swoops decided to step in, because they're trying to paint this picture like one player is holier than thou and the other one is just the Satan reincarnated. But the reality is just a tough league. It's hard. It's basketball. It's physical. A lot of this stuff that they talking about with Caitlin reminds me of like Jordan, when he came into the league, and as he progressed through. Like I remember the series against like the Detroit Pistons before the Bulls were winning championships. They had to go through all these physical, and not just with the Pistons. Back then, the whole East, everybody in the East was brutish, So whether it was the Knicks or the Pistons or whatever, like. And it's not just Michael Jordan, but a lot of these players, I don't know about today's game because they a little bit softer, The physicality has changed a little bit, but you still get that. Players like Wemby, Victor Wembyama, however you say his name. But he had to adjust to the physicality of the NBA, So I think that's what it is. It's like they talking about she's getting this unfair treatment, when really, these fans who now are following her, they just getting to see all this physicality for the first time, but it existed forever. So that's all it is. But let's continue.
NBA legend Cheryl Swoops, a guest on the show, quickly fired back with response to Arenas' take. Swoops disagreed with Arenas' opinion of Reese. In fact, she turned the tables and said Clark is the true bully.
But with Angel, she's rugged, right? She's a rugged girl, right? She's built for trying to bully. She's a bullier, right? No one feels sorry for the bullier.
She's not a bully. She's not a bully.
Oh, you probably just never seen the poster. She's bullying the veterans.
She's not a bully. Well, I mean, if you want to talk about bullies, we can talk about every time Caitlyn has the ball, she pushes off.
Oh, no.
I'm just saying.
This isn't the first time Swoops has issued some controversial comments about Clark on Arenas' show. Back in January, the 3-time WNBA MVP and 4-time champion questioned the validity of Clark's all-time NCAA scoring record. Swoops incorrectly said Clark was in her 5th year at Iowa, when the former Hawkeye star actually broke the record in 4 seasons. She later walked back those comments and admitted her mistake. The WNBA right now is just trying to shed the race-based narratives that have dominated the headlines for the past few weeks. The centerpiece of all that is Caitlin Clark, and the apparent advantages she receives by being white and straight. Then there's Angel Reese, who has helped drive the narrative against her fellow rookie. But Dave Portnoy thinks the Chicago Sky Forward is faking it. Barstool Sports founder Portnoy was a guest on the Pat Bev Pod. During the episode, host Patrick Beverly started to justify that Angel Reese is a good player. However, then he went on to explain why she is so unlikable.
I would respect and like Angel more if she just ate it. If she was just like, you know what? I hate her and I'm going to go at her and I'm going to make my mission to make her life miserable. But she doesn't do that. She acts that way. And then she acts like people are making it up. Well, you did the lambada when she got cheap shotted. You did this in college. You've done one thing after another. And then you're like, no, I like Caitlin Clark.
He feels Angel Reese is faking the hate narrative to gain out of Caitlin Clark's burgeoning fame. Dave Portnoy wants her to stick to it even if the media comes after her. Portnoy might have a point here. Angel Reese started the rivalry concept during her college NCAA tournament battles with Caitlin Clark. However,
see, they the rewriting of narratives here, they may be right, I suppose, where they say Angel Reese started the rivalry. But this moment right here, when she's doing this thing, that was something that Caitlin Clark was doing beforehand. She was doing this to people before Angel Reese. And Angel Reese just gave her own medicine and all of it. And this moment, this is when Caitlin Clark, in my eyes, became like a sympathetic figure to me, and this has nothing to do with her game, because she has game. But I think people started latching on to her because of the sympathy of, oh, we have to protect her now. So it is what it is. But let me push this back. And what that dude's saying about wanting Angel Reese to just accept the fact that she hates Caitlin Clark. I don't know why people think that that's a narrative or that's a thing. Why can't these people just be competitive towards each other? Like Magic and Bird. Like Magic and Bird, they were always like, man, when I see that dude on the court, I'm busting him up, and like it was cool to have that energy. But now, if you have that energy, you're a hater. It just speaks to how much softer the here and now is as compared to back in the day. But let's try to finish out.
Fame. Dave Portnoy wants her to stick to it even if the media comes after her. Portnoy might have a point here. Angel Reese started the rivalry concept during her college NCAA tournament battles with Caitlin Clark. However, before this season's NCAA Elite 8 matchup, she claimed that she does not have any hatred towards Clark. Love it or hate it, Caitlin Clark will remain in the sports news orbit. Part of this phenomenon is because she's playing well, while the other half is due to her haters keeping her in the news cycle. Who would have thought the WNBA would get this much attention? But here we are. And Clark should be credited with expanding the league's visibility. It's led to a wave of jealousy and resentment from veteran players to the point where even NBA legends like Charles Barkley called out these jealous women. All Clark is doing over the long term is boosting revenue for the WNBA, leading to bigger paydays for future players. No more absconding to Europe for extra scratch. Yet Clark finds herself in the news again getting clotheslined by Angel Reese, her arch rival, and getting body checked by Kennedy Carter, another Sky player earlier this month, and later refused to answer post-game questions about the rising WNBA star. Carter also called Clark a B before laying into her. Forget it's the WNBA. The controversy surrounding Clark is ridiculous. And leave it to woke sports media to pour gasoline on the fire. Clark's rise has broken ESPN, who are incapable of dealing with black lesbian players hating on a white, straight superstar. Is it racial? Does it have to do with the orientation? Is it political? It's probably all those things. But with the media we have today, it makes for one massive American mess. We hope Clark continues to play well and drives these jealous players and lefty race baiters and sports media insane. This trend has to drive a ton of liberals and jealous WNBA veterans insane. How dare someone finally bring attention to a league that everyone found mostly forgettable? That may no longer be the case, thanks to Clark. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. What do you think about this trend? I would love to hear what you think, so let me know in the comments. Oh, and make sure to drop a like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing...
And let's push it back here. All right. And that was Caitlin Clark is destroying WNBA players. And that was a good video to watch for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons that I don't like, some of these pages like this is they end up doing some of the things that they're accusing other people of. When in this video he talked about race baiting and stuff like that. I think this video did a pretty good job of stirring up race and stuff like that. Just some of the verbiage that was used in this video and videos like this, and that type of verbiage is what creates that racial chasm, so it's crazy, and I see a lot of that, a lot of, trying to turn the narrative around on somebody else when it's you, but yeah, that's a story for another time. But Caitlin Clark, though, one thing I can say is that does she deserve the attention that she's getting? Yes. Does she deserve to get beat up in the league? Nobody deserves to get beat up, but I think that not just for her, but like I said, any players coming into the WNBA, the NBA, or any sport, I think there's going to be a learning curve, an adjustment period. You have to get used to the physicality of the next step up, because you were used to playing against boys and now, or girls, if you talk WNBA, but now it's grown ass women, strong women, women that can jump very high, run very fast, very tall women. So yeah, no, it's just different. But Caitlin is adjusting really, really well. They were making a big thing about all of the turnovers and stuff earlier part of the season. It seems like that is cut down a little bit. She's scoring her ass off. The scoring and the assist numbers have been crazy, and a pretty good rebounder too. So Caitlin, she definitely got game and is starting to really look like you more than just the great white hope. She looked like a real baller for real. So but yeah, the thing that I was saying about um being a fan and lifting up the players that you like without having to degrade other players. I know people gonna do what they want to anyway, but it's not necessary, to go into comment sections and say, Caitlyn is the bee's knees and Angel Reese is nobody or whatever they end up saying. Not necessary. Not even necessary, just say Angel is the shit, Caitlyn is the shit, and let's keep it moving, but and they got two different games, when they was Gilbert and what's her name, Cheryl Swoops, when they were talking about the bully stuff. Um, First of all, she's a power forward, so she got to get down there and get rugged anyway. Like that's part of her job, but she not a bully, like just and they want to attach words again, like I said about these sites and these pages like this. You hear certain words, thug, bully, you know, they attack those are racial words, you know what I mean? They just try to that's dog whistle stuff, so yeah, no, it's just crazy, but um again, this stuff is going to keep on. The world is what it is. I'm just a person that's just making videos, just trying to live. That's it, but I'm going to leave. But before I do, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the share button, hit the playlist option. You'll pick or options because you'll pick the ones named basketball highlights and sports reactions. Two separate playlists that you'll end up seeing this in, as well as anything else that I'll react to that needs to go into those playlists. I do have playlists for other things. A lot of that stuff is music related, but as you can see, I step outside of that. So when you get the chance, check out everything, all the playlists, Cash App, $, You Made Roscoe, PayPal at You Made Roscoe. Super thanks option is available for those who like to show their support or appreciation for what's being done on the page. Any donations will be made to those spots. And that's it. That's all. I'm done. I will see you again soon. So until next time, be safe and be good.